Welcome back to another episode of the Extinction Survival Guide. Today we are going to build our starter house on this nice safe little plateau that we found, and I'm going to run this mostly in fast forward so you don't get too bored, but we're also going to show you one of the best places that I've found so far for a completely hidden PvP base. Check this out. If you build a base in here, no one can see it from the outside, and there's only a couple little entrances to it, but you've already got half your walls built already. So skip to about 5 minutes and 50 seconds into this video if you're only interested in seeing this PvP base location, but I will show you exactly where to find this. Also, as an added bonus, we'll show you a magic trick with this incredible disappearing dodo. Check that out. Yeah, no wonder they went extinct, right? So, yeah. We're going to just jump right in here, and so we're picking up right where we left off on the last episode. We just got enough materials to start building our base, and I'm trying to build this up the slope a little bit so there's enough room in the back to expand a little bit down. And I'm not sure if this is too slanted to put foundations straight next to each other. I also have an extra ceiling, which we didn't end up needing to use to make the bridge over here, so I'll go ahead and place that here. If you're new to this series, this is actually a great spot for a PvE base. It's right out in the open, but it's going to be really hard to have any dinosaurs attack us, because we are right in the swamp area, which I normally avoid like the plague, like the swamp plague. But as you can see here, the only way to access this little area that we're building is this tiny little thatch bridge that we built ourselves. And oh, that's that Microraptor again. Still avoiding him at all costs because I just don't want to mess with a Microraptor. Those things are actually a lot more vicious than you would think. They look like dodo size, so you'd think they're just fine. No, it'll kick my butt if I go after that guy, especially with a spear. I mean, I got to get some better weapons. So there's that dodo from the intro. We'll come back to that later, but I'm a little bit more concerned with this giant sloth bear. So I pretty much avoid the redwoods all the time, and so I haven't really encountered a sloth bear much. So I'm just going to stay away from him. I'm not sure exactly what, if they're peaceful or not, but I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt. And anytime you don't know what a dinosaur is, just run away from it, give it a lot of space, especially if it's a big one like that. Now, I'm a lot less worried out here now that I have my little plateau, because if anything chases me, I can get it to chase me out over my thatch bridge and then just jump into the water, let it fall down into the swamp, and then let the swamp animals take care of it, because there's a lot of, crocodiles down there, titan boas. Our first episode, we ran into a titan boa, and I was like, snakes, why did it have to be snakes? And, totally got our butt kicked, but, so it's actually not a bad area for protecting ourselves, because anything attacking us is just going to fall right in the swamp. So, sorry about that. I had a little glitch with my controller. I had to turn it back on. And I'm playing on a PC with a PS4 controller, because I'm used to playing this on PS4. I very recently got a laptop, which is good enough to run this, and it's a beast. It's running pretty high resolution here. So, one of our first priorities was to get this little storage box going, because we're getting overweight. I mean, like, not just slightly overweight, like, you play more Ark than exercise, but like super overweight, like can't get off the couch kind of overweight. So we're going to try to fix that, drop some stuff off so we can still move freely and collect things. And now that I have a storage box, I'm actually going to make some extra water skins, because the biggest issue we've been having is running out. Oh, there you go, right there. Getting dehydrated, because it's really hot out here, and I really don't want to waste the resources to make a full cloth outfit. It's probably going to be worth it pretty soon, but I'd much rather have a house and shelter and, be able to stay safe from dinosaurs. But it is kind of a pain having to run all the way down to the swamp every time I want to get water, and it seems like water source is going to be very important when you're starting out on Extinction, because it's really hot in the sanctuary, like burning hot, hotter than the jungle kind of hot. So let's see here. Just going to avoid these guys. It seems pretty safe so far. And I know there's a crocodile just wandering around down here. Hey, there he is. Yep. trying to keep an eye out for him. I also ran into a sentinel recently too, but got your poop. Ah, ha, 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 ha. That'll be useful later on, maybe. On my Ragnarok server, I have an entire battle fortress built on top of a Paraceratherium, and the entire thing is run by dung beetles. And those things turn dinosaur poop into oil and fertilizer, which fertilizes my Plant Species X turrets. And the thing is pretty much unstoppable, but the whole thing runs on dinosaur poop, so I just have a habit of collecting all the dino poop that I find. So yeah, pardon my weird quirks there. So, we have this really cool PvP base location that I found. Now, I've got my house built on this little broken section here in the swamp. So if you go to the swamp, it's that huge high building that kind of overarches this swampy area down there. And if you go straight across towards the forest, there's this really big tree over here. Sorry for constantly looking around. There's a Microraptor running around here, and he's so hard to keep track of. I really wish he was a big, tall dinosaur. But check this out. If you go between the roots of this tree, sorry, I had to check. There's this big hollow space between this tree, and dinosaurs can wander in here, so you will have to deal with that. That's why I built on the plateau. I'm playing solo PvE, no one else is around to bother me. But if you want a perfect hiding spot for your PvP tribe, this is a really big area. It's all completely camouflaged, and I'm pretty sure if you built a wooden base in here, maybe even stone, it would be impossible to see until somebody gets right into that area. So that is right next to the swamp here. You can see this building kind of towers over the swamp in a ring, and still avoiding that sloth bear. And right across this little gap is where that is. So that's going to be really helpful if anybody's making a PvP base. That's probably my top recommendation so far if you want to build something on the ground where nobody's going to be able to find you. You could also build a little decoy house right here where I'm building, and people would have a really hard time getting across that gap. And if they do, especially if you made like a nice little thatch bridge, you could let them go over there, break the bridge yourself, and just, let them hop into the swamp and deal with all the swamp monsters. So, you could have a lot of fun with that. So I am going to keep building my base here, and I wasn't sure if there would be too much of a slope to put two foundations together, but turns out there is. I don't think I could get a third foundation going further down, but, we could use ceiling tiles to make that happen. So I've got a very basic little, thatch foundations going here, and I made my... Oh, that sloth bear is getting a little close. Still not totally sure if he's safe to be around, and of course there's a Microraptor right behind him. I'm going to get a little closer to this guy to see if he attacks me, because I need to know which one is going to be more dangerous, the sloth bear or the Microraptors. And seems like the sloth bear is cool, so I don't think he's going to attack us. He also will probably be easier to deal with, because I think if he attacks us on our little thatch bridge, we can make him just fall into the swamp pretty easily. So the only thing I'm really worried about with our little base there on that plateau is sentinels, because I saw in the trailer it looks like they can climb up up horizontal walls, but that little plateau is built to where they would have to actually climb upside down to go up around there. And I'm hoping they can't climb upside down. That's really going to be my saving grace if I run into sentinels out here. So, we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, got a little sloth bear there, got some Microraptor, and I'm trying to avoid everybody. So, thankfully, I'm able to stay out of combat pretty well right now. So, let's see here. Yep, great. Now, we're getting dehydrated again, constantly dehydrated, but at least we have a little backup water supply here, so that's going to help a lot. And I'm just going to put that other one in my inventory. And here we go. We finally have our 2x3 base foundations laid out, and I think I'm just going to stick with that. I normally make my starting thatch base just a 1x2, just a tiny house that you can barely even fit a bed and one storage crate in. But this time I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, just because I think this place is going to be pretty safe. So far nothing's tried to come up here, And even if it does, we should have a decent way to keep stuff out. And I think that's going to work out okay. So right about there, my game actually froze. And then when I tried to open it back up, it had an update. Did the whole update. Oh, and here we go. Here is our incredible disappearing dodo. Check that out. Just whoop, he's gone. I guess that's a new defense mechanism that they've evolved. Either that or that's why they all disappeared. They just kind of just vanished out of nowhere. So yeah, fun stuff. Moving on, just going to keep gathering a bunch of stuff, and we will go crazy fast forward just so you don't get bored watching this. But yeah, so after my game crashed, it had an update file, which I applied, and when I logged back in, my character was, I had to start a new character for some reason, and my house was gone. And my old character was laying on the ground asleep. So I was able to recover all my stuff, and since I had this recorded on video, I was able to just spawn back in all of the items and my house exactly where it was in the same way it was. So that's one benefit to recording your own video. I was actually able to have the exact location of every piece of that house. So yeah, that set me back a little bit, so my videos are going to come out a little slower because I lost some of that save stuff. And I also looked up how to back up your save file on Steam, so that was all new and different, but I guess that's just part of the launch day festivities for a Ark game. So now I've got enough stuff for most of the walls that I need, and I'm going to go ahead and wall the rest of this in. I started walling off the front just in case any dinosaurs do come over and attack. I'm still kind of worried that the Microraptors might be able to actually jump the gap. They can jump pretty far and pounce on you. I'm just not sure exactly how far. I think they also stun you pretty well. Once again, another creature that I don't run into often because they usually live in the redwoods, and I avoid the redwoods like a plague. So I really haven't played in the redwoods very much. On my Ragnarok series, I spent a little time in the redwoods with my Parasaur tank, but I didn't really have to fight very many dinosaurs because the turrets just mowed down everything before it even got close enough to hurt me. So if you want to check that out, my Ragnarok series has a playlist, and if you look at the titles, you can see how to build a Paraceratherium tank. And those things are just crazy. Like, it's so overpowered, it's not even funny. As soon as I get a level where I can make a platform saddle, we're just going to go to town out here. So yeah, I think that's just about all the materials I'm going to need to finish out my house. And I'm heading back over here, and we should be able to finish the last bits of the house here. And in the next episode, we will actually be going out and seeing if we can start taming some dinosaur friends. I'll probably start small, like a Dilo, and hopefully I'll be able to actually get the engrams for like a mortar and pestle and get some narcotics going so we can make tranquilizers. But there we go. We finally have our house finished, and we should be pretty safe. I'm going to make one last storage box so that we can store the rest of our stuff, because that other one's already full. So we're actually off to a pretty good start. We have a nice, safe PvE base, going. And yeah, we should be in great shape for the next episode to embark and start actually going on some adventures here. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and we will keep releasing new videos in the Ark Extinction series. So yeah, and if you're new to this channel, check out the playlist at the end. We've actually got some pretty cool guides and series, and if you're new to Ark, we have a Switch survival guide that's coming out over the next couple weeks, which will teach you every single button to press to do everything that we do. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series thanks for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.